Picture this. You walk into a casino feeling lucky. You sit down at a blackjack table with $100. A few hours later, you walk out with nothing. Meanwhile, the casino just paid for another gold-plated chandelier. How does this keep happening? Today, we're pulling back the curtain on the casino industry and breaking down the actual mathematics that guarantees casinos make billions of dollars every single year. And spoiler alert, they're not cheating. They don't need to. The math does all the work for them.
Like and subscribe.
Let's start with the foundation of everything, the house edge. The house edge is basically a built-in mathematical advantage that ensures the casino wins in the long run. It's not some sketchy trick or rig system. It's just pure mathematics baked into every single game. Think of it as a tax on your gambling. Every bet you make, the casino takes a small percentage, and you don't even notice it happening. Here's a simple example with roulette. An American roulette wheel has 38 numbers, 1 through 36, plus 0 and 00. If you bet on red, there are 18 red numbers. Sounds like a 50-50 chance, right? Wrong. You have 18 ways to win, but 20 ways to lose because of those 2 green zeros. The casino pays you even money when you win, but your actual odds are slightly worse than 50-50. That difference? That's the house edge, and it's about 5.26% for roulette. Now, 5% doesn't sound like much. You might think, hey, I can overcome a 5% disadvantage. But here's the thing. That 5% applies to every single spin. Play long enough, and that small edge grinds you down like water eroding a rock. The casino doesn't need to win every bet. They just need to win 52 or 53 times out of every 100. Do that millions of times across thousands of players, and boom, you've got yourself a billion-dollar industry. This brings us to one of the casino's best friends, the law of large numbers. In the short term, anything can happen. You might win 5 hands of blackjack in a row. Someone might hit the jackpot on a slot machine. But casinos don't care about the short term. They care about what happens after millions and millions of bets. And mathematics tells us that the more times something is repeated, the closer the results get to the expected average. Let's say you flip a coin. Flip it 10 times, you might get 7 heads and 3 tails. That's 70% heads, way off from the expected 50%. But flip that coin 10,000 times, and you'll get really close to 5,000 heads and 5,000 tails. The law of large numbers in action. Casinos operate on this principle every single day. On any given night, they might lose money to a lucky player. But across thousands of players making millions of bets, the house edge kicks in like clockwork. The casino knows that if they can just keep you playing, the math will eventually work in their favor. Always. That's why casinos have no problem giving away free drinks, free hotel rooms, and free meals. They're not being generous. They're keeping you in your seat, making more bets, allowing the law of large numbers to do its magic. Every additional hour you spend gambling is another hour for their mathematical advantage to kick in. Now let's talk about the casino's real moneymaker, slot machines. Walk into any casino and you'll see rows upon rows of slot machines, all making those hypnotic sounds, flashing lights, and jingling coins. There's a reason they take up about 70% of the casino floor. Slot machines generate roughly 65 to 80% of a casino's total revenue. They're literally printing money. The house edge on slots varies wildly, anywhere from 2% all the way up to 15% or more. But here's what makes slots so profitable: speed. A table game like Blackjack might see 60 to 80 hands per hour. A slot machine? You can easily play 600 to 900 spins per hour. More bets per hour means more money extracted from your wallet at a much faster rate. Let's do some quick math. Say you're playing a slot machine with a 10% house edge. You're betting $5 per spin, and you're playing 600 spins per hour. That's $3,000 in total bets per hour. The casino expects to keep 10% of that, which is $300 per hour from just you. Now multiply that by thousands of machines running simultaneously, and you can see why casinos love these things. And here's the psychological trick. Slots are designed to give you frequent small wins that keep you playing. You might bet $5 and win $3 back. Your brain registers that as a win, even though you just lost $2. The machine celebrates with sounds and lights. You feel good. You keep playing. Meanwhile, the casino is slowly, steadily draining your bankroll. Modern slot machines are also programmed with variable reward schedules, which is the same psychological principle that makes social media so addictive. You never know when the next one is coming, so you keep pulling that lever, chasing the dopamine hit. Table games are a bit more interesting because some of them actually involve skill. Blackjack, for example, has one of the lowest house edges in the casino, around 0.5%, if you play with perfect basic strategy. That sounds great, right? The problem is, most people don't play with perfect strategy. They make mistakes, they go with their gut, they chase losses, and suddenly that 0.5% house edge balloons to 2 or 3% or higher. Craps is another interesting one. Some bets at the craps table have a house edge as low as 1.4%. But the table is covered with dozens of different bets, and many of them have house edges of 10 or even 15%. Casinos are banking on you not knowing which bets are good and which are terrible. They're counting on excitement, confusion, and peer pressure to make you place the sucker bets with massive house edges. Poker is unique because you're playing against other players, not the house. So how does the casino make money? The rake. They take a small percentage of every pot, usually around 2.5 to 10%, depending on the stakes. The casino doesn't care who wins or loses at the poker table. They're just collecting their fee for hosting the game. It's like being a landlord who gets paid no matter what happens in the apartment. Baccarat is massive in Asia and high roller rooms. The house edge is pretty low, around 1.06% on banker bets. But the minimum bets are often hundreds or thousands of dollars, and the game moves quickly. High rollers can bet millions in a single night. Even with a small house edge, 1% of several million dollars is still a huge payday for the casino. But casinos don't just rely on math. They've mastered psychology too. First, let's talk about casino design. You ever notice how casinos don't have windows or clocks? That's intentional. They want you to lose track of time. It could be 3 p.m. or 3 a.m., and you'd have no idea. Time disappears, and you keep gambling. The lighting is carefully designed to keep you alert but comfortable. The carpet patterns are deliberately busy and ugly because they make you look up at the shiny, exciting slot machines instead of down at the floor. Casinos also use chips instead of cash. This is psychological genius. Chips feel like game tokens, not real money. It's way easier to bet a stack of chips than it is to bet a stack of $100 bills. The psychological pain of losing is reduced when you're playing with colorful plastic circles instead of actual currency. Then there's the illusion of control. Slot machines have buttons you press. Craps lets you throw the dice yourself. These games are 100% random, but giving you a physical action makes you feel like you have some control over the outcome. You don't, but the illusion keeps you engaged and betting. Free drinks are another trap. Alcohol lowers inhibitions and impairs judgment. A drunk person makes worse decisions and takes bigger risks. The casino gladly gives you free alcohol because they know they'll make it back tenfold at the tables. And let's not forget about the near misses. Slot machines are programmed to show you near misses all the time. You get 2 cherries and the third one lands just above the pay line. Your brain interprets that as, I almost won, when in reality, you just lost. But that near miss triggers the same reward pathways as an actual win, keeping you motivated to play more. So how much money are we actually talking about? The global casino industry generates over $260 billion annually. In Las Vegas alone, casinos pull in around $15 billion per year just from gaming revenue. Macau, the gambling capital of the world, makes even more. Individual casino resorts can generate hundreds of millions or even billions in annual revenue. But here's what's wild. Casinos aren't even relying on just gambling anymore. They've diversified into entertainment complexes with restaurants, shows, nightclubs, shopping, and hotels. These amenities serve two purposes. First, they generate additional revenue streams. Second, and more importantly, they keep you on the property and eventually back at the tables or slot machines. The average casino visitor loses between $100 to $500 per trip, depending on the location and how long they stay. That might not sound like a lot, but multiply that by millions of visitors per year, and you can see how it adds up. The casino industry has perfected the art of extracting money from people in a way that feels fun and entertaining. You're not being robbed. You're choosing to hand over your money in exchange for excitement and hope. And that's the genius of it all. Casinos have turned mathematics into an experience. They've made losing money feel like entertainment. They've built palaces funded by people who walk in believing they'll be the exception to the mathematical rule. Spoiler, they almost never are. So how do casinos actually make billions? Simple. Unbeatable mathematics combined with psychological manipulation and massive volume. Every game is designed with a house edge. Every bet you make feeds that edge. Play long enough, and the law of large numbers ensures the casino wins. Add in clever design, free drinks, flashing lights, and the thrill of hope, and you've got a money-printing machine. The house always wins. Not because they cheat, but because they understand math better than you do. If this video just saved you a trip to the casino, hit that like button, drop a comment, and tell me. Have you ever won big at a casino? Or did the house edge get you too? And subscribe for more videos breaking down the hidden mathematics of everyday life. Thanks for watching, and remember, the only way to beat the casino is to not play. Or at least know exactly what you're up against.